Namaste programs, welcome back to Disco Edition. There'll be a lot of talking, it's all talking. We love this game, but it's all reading. But such is life, such is how it goes. Let's get back into it. Where were we? What were we doing? Why? These are questions that we all have answers to, but don't know where I'm going with that. Fuck it. What's going on here? We need to get our iPhone onto the right Wi-Fi. Bear with me, chat. Hope you're all well. Having a good time. Enjoying life, you know, all that good stuff. Chat. Okay, Twitch wants to do my ad preferences. Just fuck it, yeah, show me ads, why not? Why not Twitch? Alright, so we just talked to her. We need to talk to the kid, apparently. Hello, what does door say? It's locked tight. You can see into the house from this angle. Inside you hear the cozy sound of some kind of heater sputtering. Realised you could use the keyboard to move, there you go. You're not an old lady, you're not a young kid, are you? The woman next to a bucket of clothes hums an odd melody. Her eyes are closed. You're not sure about the melody, but it might be South Samoan, possibly Sigayan, also known as the apricot suzerainty.
Welcome to the fishing village. Please lean in closer. I have cataracts.
She opens her eyes. Lean forward.
Oh, welcome, police officer. We don't cause any trouble around here, and we don't want any trouble either.
A shadow passes over her face.
We are not here to cause any trouble, madame.
Thank you for the follow, Upa Claude. Merci bien. What he said, we're cops, we don't cause trouble, we take care of trouble. We're cops, we're hellraisers, click, click, bang, bang, point your finger pistols at her. What he said, we're cops, we don't cause trouble, we take care of trouble.
Oh, of course. Last time we saw you
Will do, Upa.
was 12 years ago. You also came to take care of trouble then. Which you did. But still, in Martinez, you're considered an ill omen.
12 years ago. Wait, I've been here before. What kind of ill omen are we talking about? I am an ill omen, alright. Wait, I've been here before?
No, not you personally. I meant the RCM. Some of the men got into a fight. One of them killed another. Locked himself in that woodshed over there.
She points to the building behind her.
He was brooding, needed some help opening the door. You got it open for him and took him to think about what he'd done in a more secluded place, somewhere more quiet.
Somewhere more quiet. She says it as if he was on some kind of spiritual retreat. What kind of ill omen are we talking about?
Oh, the usual. Dark tidings, black hound.
If I'm considered an ill omen, why hasn't anyone told me that?
Maybe we are afraid.
Why?
Because you're an ill omen. But you're still welcome here, as long as men with guns aren't chasing you. And maybe even then, because that's the kind of fishing village we've built.
Continue.
I'm sorry there's not a lot of room to park your motor carriage. And not a lot of houses. Or a lot of people. My kids are long gone, searching for treasure. So are others. Ah, look at me ramble on. What brings you to us?
She waves her hand. Where could someone stay around here? Stay? Most people here are trying to leave. That said, if lodgings is what you're looking for, I've got a free room in the shack. Her soapy thumb points to the building behind her. Don't know if I can afford another place to stay. I won't charge you for it. Take it as a gesture of goodwill from the village to the RCM. There's this guy, Garter, who makes me give him money every night just so I don't die out in the cold. That's exactly how they get ya. That's why we built our own cinder block houses on the seaside, so we don't have to give money to those crooks. She looks around. They might not look like much, but they're ours. Wait, why isn't anyone using the room? My kids grew up and left like they do. The house is long empty now. I live in the small side attachment. It's easier and cheaper to keep warm. One more time. I can just have the room? She nods and looks at the shack. The room is pretty bare bones, but it's got a bed and a roof over it. That's more than some folks have around here. When Vasan communist revolutionary Ignace Nilsson was in hiding, he stayed in a hut on the Boreal Plateau for 10 months. It would help me stay in touch with the proletariat. Nod, this could be the first chapter of my Rags to Riches memoir. Now this is real Revacholian hospitality. That Garter must have been half kipped or something. Unfortunate that incremental development hasn't elevated this neighbourhood yet. I see potential here. I don't need much. This sounds just fine. I don't need much. This sounds just fine. An uncomplicated man, she nods approvingly. I take it that means you're interested? You've got yourself a tenant. Get keys to your new home. Nice. Don't make an old woman regret opening her house to the police. A key appears from under her apron. She hands it to you. Well, okay. You won't regret being police, but you might regret you letting a psychotic, drug-addled, alcoholic, disco-loving psychopath in. But yeah, we'll see how that goes. Well, if you're not in the hostel in the morning, I'll know where to find you. He looks around and adds, here, in a shack. What's in this fishing village? Just us. She sounds tired. It's barely a village anymore. We almost don't exist. What do you mean? It's pretty much a non-place, she grins. A gap, a blank spot on the map, just a cluster of nameless shacks on a nameless street. The place is so pornographically poor, it's not even funny. This place is pornographically poor. There's got to be something here, tell me. Who else lives in this village? Is there a way to make a little money around here? Alright, there's on top of the address. This place is pornographically poor. The lack of wealth is the one thing we've got in abundance. The woman smiles cryptically. Composure. It's a cold, cynical smile. Riddles, the lieutenant marks dryly and looks around. Fits with the general ambience here. Her eyes grow wide with glee. Sometimes it's as though I've also gotten lost inside this nameless nothing. I'm lost too. Oh, her expression betrays curiosity. It seems to be a common theme these days. I think I'm in the process of finding myself again. Maybe I should stay lost, just move here and disappear completely. I'd really rather go back to talking about the village. Maybe I should just stay lost. Just move here and disappear completely. No! Maybe, she says with unnerving calm. It would be easy, but right now you want something from me, right? There's got to be something here, tell me. She waves her hand southwest. Over there you can find more of the same. Shacks and trees growing wild. That's the pox. Shivers. Between here and Jamrock, a dusty sea of old trees, all covered in industrial soot, small houses under them, an overgrown park. The pox? What's that? An old military hospital and its surroundings. She looks towards the building to the south, or it used to be, during the time of the suzerain. After the war, it was turned into a goodwill hospital for shell-shock veterans and folks looking for some quiet in the old sanatorium gardens. Now the area is crisscrossed with nameless streets and makeshift cinder-block houses, shacks as far as the eye can see. What happened to the hospital? The goodwill ran out. She tightens the scarf around her neck. The staff left and the place was shut down. It's long gone by now. Who else lives in this village? Well, there's Lillian and her kids. A few new folks live in the house to the east. She nods her head across the courtyard, but they're away right now. And then there's the drunks, she sighs. Not a pretty sight, but there's little we can do about it. Home is home, even for them. I met Lillian already. Did I? Lillian is tough, she nods. Tougher than the men here, at least. If it wasn't for her kid and her and the kids, this place wouldn't have had a spark of life. Oh, she was the net woman. The net woman. Good old net woman. I haven't seen any drunks yet, though. Sooner or later, you'll see for yourself. She slowly shakes her head. Don't have to look long to find these guys. They were behind those hedges, or things I couldn't get around, the weeds. Is there a way to make a little money around here? Here? For you? She lets out a dry chortle. No, officer. The only money we have here is some coins the drunks tried hiding from their women, and then forgot about. Savoir faire. Under carts, boats, and in little boxes. It's not hard to find. Alright, there's another topic I'd like to address. She nods, rinsing another piece of cloth. Piece of cloth. My enunciation today is poor. What's further down the coast? Not much, she replies and wipes her forehead. There's an abandoned church, the DeLorean Church of Humanity. It's been there since before my time even. Why is it abandoned? Some things just don't fly, officer. She smiles a gap-toothed smile and smells the air. Look around. Who'd go to church here? They built it 300 years ago. Must have been nicer then. So they don't hold services there anymore? The Ecclesiastes? No, they've tried, but things just keep happening. Crime, accidents, other things. The place never stays open. She frowned. It's a pity. It used to be such a nice church. What else is on down coast? What else is on down coast? What else is on down coast? Is there a way of making that make sense? What is... Oh, that's... Okay, I don't even know what they're trying to go for there. What's the typo? What else is down the coast? Anyway. Before you get to the church, there's some ruins, an apartment complex or some kind of electrical plant. Run-down bunch of houses. Empty. Which is it then? Apartments or electrical plant? I don't know exactly. A pre-war place. It used to be something, she shrugs. Before the war. I wasn't here then, you know. I was born in Samara. Anything else of note? Of note, the old fisher market is up on the boardwalk, but it's closed. Who'd want to come to a fish market here? That's it. There's got to be more. Who'd want to come to a fish market here? No one. That's why it's closed. After a long pause, she adds, it was once a bustling place. Back when I was young, and so was everyone else. Now what catch we do bring in goes straight into a lorry for the Delta or somewhere else. That's it. There's got to be more along the coast. What, you're one of those real estate people with big plans? If you want a development opportunity, you can check out the abandoned building over at Land's End. Used to be a supply depot, we think. Sending goods and ammo across the bay. It's jammed shut though. We tried to get in, see if there was anything to sell or scavenge, but it's impossible. She drops a bar of soap into the bucket with a splash, and now you know everything there is to know about the coast. Tell me about yourself. Who exactly are you here? Me? No one. Just an old washerwoman. Mother called me Isabel, if that's what you're asking. And my married name is Sadie. Isabel Sadie. Why does that ring a bell? Now it's your turn, mister. Lieutenant W. Frater Harrier Dubois. I lost my name. Call me Harry. What am I going for here? How am I role-playing this dude? I feel like I lost my name. These things happen occasionally. Don't worry, you'll find yourself once more. She makes it sound like losing one's name was as common as a midlife crisis. Around here, it's probably even more common. Oh, she's Isabel Sadie. She's the one I have to get the signature. That's why I recognized her name. God dang. I was asked to get your signature. Hand her the envelope. Aye, what's this about? She takes out the documents and squints her eyes. Come now, I can't read all this scribble. Tell me what it says. Everett wants to turn part of the village into a little youth centre. It's just a real estate deal, nothing ominous. Actually, never mind, I won't bother you with this. Everett wants to turn part of the village into a little youth centre. Why am I doing what Everett says? I should be helping these people. I seem to remember reading the thing and it was some kind of bad deal or something. But anyway. I guess I'm helping Everett. Ha! She lifts the paper very close to her face and studies it intently. I might be half blind, but it looks like part of the village is going to be a street. The best part. The part we need to get out of our houses. I see Lillian's name is already here. Tusk. That's. Don't even know if that comes up on the microphone. The girl is too trusting. Either way, I won't sign union papers. She hands the envelope back to you. What do you have against the union? I've seen it all before. You think they've got our interests at heart? Rich men are always selling poor men promises they never plan to keep. She pulls a dark red rag out of the bucket and puts it back. Then the poor get pushed out of their homes and the rich get a little richer. That's the way it goes. So no, I don't trust the fat man and neither should you. Rhetoric. In her mind, the union is right-wing because Everett is fat. It's that simple and there's no changing it. Composure. She is headstrong, but there's a slight hesitation in there. You may be able to convince her. 3%. I guess not. Goodbye, I'm off. So, we need to somehow do something for her or something along the way to... That's if we want her to sign it, which I'm not sure we do. Yo, kids. Lillian's twin. The scruffy-haired little boy kicks a stone. He can't be more than 5 years old. Lillian's other twin. The other one looks indistinguishable from him. He watches his brother kick the stone with his tongue lolling out of his mouth. You must be Lillian's twins. This one doesn't say anything, kicking the concrete with his worn-out sneaker. Lily's our mum, explains the other one, tongue still lolling out of his mouth. I already said that. The stone kicker laughs suddenly, his head is too large for his shoulders. The other one laughs as well. Wow, so intellectually stimulating. You guys look identical. The stone-kicking one becomes frantic all of a sudden, as if that's something to be scared of, the obvious fact that you just stated. He looks just like me, the other one said. Yeah, I said that. The boy doesn't answer, his brother throws another rock, both of their hair is covered in some kind of dirt. The rock kicker was just being shy, but now he's enthusiastic again. You're bad with kids, the lieutenant remarks with evident glee. And what are you, Kid Master General? Maybe I am, he grins. Now, how about some actual police work? We're not getting anything here. Children are stupid. Haha, the scruffy-haired little kid laughs as though in agreement. You're stupid, the other one tells him, suddenly very serious. Okay, how about the policeman asks you something else now? Okay, the scruffy-haired boy squints up at you. Bye, kids, take care. Right, I thought one of these must have been a little girl, so we still haven't found the girl. Oh, here we go. This is how we get to these nerds. Ah, there's stuff I haven't picked up. Oh, wow, there's a bottle. Oh, there's a thing there, too. What do we got? Magnesium, good. We need morale because I keep fucking losing it. Wonder where this girl is then. Oh, that was the... Okay, that's where I can wait if I need to. Right, gotcha.
Hey, tequila!
A 30-something man clad in a two-piece Lycra TM tracksuit puts down his Pilsner and extends his hands in greeting.
Good to see ya. How's business? How's the old reality situation treating ya?
Shake his
So
hand.
what's happening?
He picks up his beer. Wait, tequila?
Yeah, Tequila Sunset. How are the high-concept, reality-based adventures proceeding?
He takes a sip. Hey, it's Meta Man. He says it like it's obviously your name, like you call someone Billy Brunel or leader of the 4th Street Gang. Not too hot, I'm on a 50-year losing streak. Reality, it makes me aggressively sad. Don't know, people tell me I'm a cop, I'm getting used to that. I have re-entered reality to conquer it, to bend it to my will. I am the law. I am the law. Reality, it makes me aggressively
I
sad.
know what you mean. Sitting around with these bums who really get to know the nitty-gritty of reality, and it isn't good.
He looks at his buddies with mock appreciation.
Things aren't going super well for Idiot Doom Spiral either. Haven't found those keys yet. Ever won that great piece of arse back? No word for my business, buddies.
He takes a sip from his beer. Idiot Doom Spiral, huh? This is bound to be a good high-concept conversation. At last! What is it? A tequila sunset? You keep saying it. It's you. Your tequila sunset. How do you know this? We've met before, don't you remember? Nope. You sure don't. Nope. Aha, he takes a sip from his beer. Do you want to know how tequila sunset came to be? Go ahead. Let me take a sip to moisten up my chords. Yeah, good idea. That's what I'm going to do too. He takes a big sip, then begins, Tequila sunset rolled into Martinez last Friday, and by tequila sunset, I mean you, the man, the myth. Was I alone? Hey, let's not jump ahead of ourselves. This is your story. Stop interrupting. He takes another sip, then continues. You got here on Friday to solve a case, hoping to be the early bird who gets the worm. And by the worm, I mean the buzz, because as far as I know, all you did was get pissed drunk. Word on the street is you went around the local hostel telling people that you're a police officer and that it would be really fucked up if you shot yourself in the head right in front of them. That's pretty high concept if you ask me. It is. Oh yeah, that's totally your style. The lieutenant's brow is furrowed. He's listening as casually as he can. Let's see. Please continue. Oh yeah, not the first time this comes up. Cough awkwardly. Yeah, sure I did that thing. What of it? Oh yeah, not the first time this comes up. Hey man, I'm not judging. He waves the bottle towards you. This life's a valley of woes. Some of the highest concept people in history have killed themselves and been drunks. Either way, it was late Saturday night when we, the Union of Moribund Alcoholics, got our drink on. Nothing remarkable about this. We get our drink on 24/7. Makes everything warm and glowy. I trust you know the feeling. One moment we hear the sound of a motor carriage revving up somewhere on the plaza, followed by a series of dings and bangs. Perception hearing. Do you remember the sound of wood cracking? The billboard? Naturally, loud noises pique the interest of anybody owning a pair of ears. That's just the reality we're in. Naturally. Anyway, there was a brief silence, a gasp of silence if you will, followed by a real commotion. We heard the carriage careening towards the coast at top speed. Sounded like someone jumped the canal. We grabbed our brewskis and rushed to the jetty. Never underestimate the speed of an alcoholic. What we saw was a sight to behold, a beat-up police carriage containing you, right there on the beach. You revved the engine and screamed at the top of your lungs. The time hath come. So naturally being the curious cat I am, I asked what time hath come, to which you replied, the time hath come for tequila sunset, the end of all things. Oh God, what happened next? Say nothing, it's more dignified that way. Every word I said was true. Tequila sunset will break the looms of reality. Yeah, that one. Yeah, looms. Why not? Then you jammed the pedal and ploughed right off the jetty and through the ice. We ran towards the ice while you crawled your way out, miraculously unhurt, covered in seaweed and shit, like some kind of sea monster. When we finally got there, you were sitting on the beach crying. You said that your badge and uniform were in the car. It was too late to get in there, though. The carriage had sunk too deep. Recognizing a brother in need, we offered our condolences and invited you to party with us, which you naturally agreed to. Well, electrochemistry, what else was there to do? Thank you, brothers, for your helping hand. We asked about the whole Tequila Sunset thing, and you told us it was your name now and insisted that we all call you from then on. Wait, so is Tequila Sunset an event or a name? Tequila Sunset, huh? Sounds pretty good. My real name is Harry. Wait, Tequila Sunset, huh? Sounds pretty good. He smiles. Yeah, I agree. How long did we party for? Hours. It was an all-night drink-a-thon. Then at some point, I think it was Sunday morning, you got belligerent and wanted to talk about Revacholian women. How they're beautiful and also whores and so on. How one of them fucked you real bad. After a short while, you crossed the event horizon, looked sullen, got up, and left without saying anything. Wow, that's quite a story. Yeah, I bet Tequila's a fucking legend around the precinct. You must be proud to work with him. If only you knew. Right, I need some more water. Give me a second. Let's just pause the talking for a second while we fill our glass and hydrate. Okay, did I tell you anything specific about this person that, quote, fucked me? You were pretty vague about it, but you kept saying you got fucked real hard and that we've all been fucked too. No one's... Rosemary? No one's fucked me. I do the fucking around here. Don't call Abigail. Abigail? It seemed pretty painful, to be honest with you. If I had to guess, I'd say you're still working through some shit. Did I mention losing anything else? Beside your gun and your badge, you said something about your hope or heart or something. To be honest, the details are a little hazy. In retrospect, I guess you lost your motor carriage too. That's a big one. Did I say anything about my colleagues? You told us that they were a bunch of fucking losers whose main interest was cramping your style. No specifics though, it was more about you that night. You were the star of the show. Did I say anything about the case? Yeah, you said it was no biggie and that you'd solve it in no time. He takes a strong quaff of his beer, and that you didn't need anyone to do it. You're doing it solo now. A lot of cops go solo and hermit once they reach that level of alcoholism. Did we talk about, politics? Yeah, you kept talking about how the coal mine owners were fucking us all over, just like that woman fucked you. I didn't agree with you, by the way. The spectral hand of the market makes sure everyone gets exactly what they deserve. He takes a long sip of beer. Did you get a read on what kind of cop I was? You kept apologizing for being such a bad cop and for the damage you've inflicted on everyone around you. You also kept pausing to knock the heel of your hand against your temples, saying stupid, stupid, stupid. I don't need to hear any more. He nods. It's a hard thing for a man to confront his past. That's why I avoid mine at all costs. What do you guys do around here? We are saving the world, he looks at his comrades. Please, please don't call. Don't call, begs the man in the pipe. Okay, we're drinking. We're drinking alcohol, that's what we're doing. I tried to save the world once, a long time ago, with enterprise, creativity and willpower, but that didn't work out. So now it's a pirate's life for me. I like these guys. I resemble that comment. Who's the one talking? This one or that one? Who even fucking knows? Could you and your pal sign this document? Show Everett's letter. What's it about? He waves his hand apathetically. I'll let my hand address the situation. Maybe you've heard, I used to be a very successful businessman. I've signed more than a few lease forms or whatever the fuck they were. He looks around. Anyone's got a pen? The pro's gonna do it. I have this blue oblong pen. Lend him your pen. Alright, he grabs the pen and paper from your hands and very carefully scribbles on the dotted line next to Lillian Carter, idiot doom spiral. Can I have the pen back too? Don't know if I've mentioned it, but I used to be a businessman, and as a businessman, I am going to keep the pen for my trouble. He nods confidently. Interfacing. No, that was my favourite thing. Of all the things you have, this had better be worth losing the pen for. It probably isn't. My favourite thing was the gun he lost. You've done a great service to the community, to the RCM, and to Rover. Hey guys, I'm a hero. He hands you the envelope and waves his hand erratically at his companions. Hell yes, the red-nosed drunk brings his hand up to his head for a salute. Don't call Abigail, the drunk in the pipe snorts and takes a swig from his bottle. The bottle is empty. Thank you for your help, he turns to you. Should we go and mail this? I think I saw a mailbox on the plaza. I want to ask these guys a couple of things first. Okay, what's on your mind? You seem like you're characterized by your storytelling ability. Want to tell me another one sometime? Whoop-de-doo, so now I'm a fucking storyteller, he says, slapping his knee. Right, why not? Better than a beach bum. Yeah, want to tell me how you became Idiot Doom Spiral? It depends, really. Are you willing to help me out? Electrochemistry. The gleam in his eyes and the starch in his posture is so incredibly familiar. Drama. You might get scammed here. I have a feeling this is going to cost me a lot. No, the reality of the situation requires a rather modest contribution, a little motivational package. You want booze, don't you? His eyes light up. I don't want it, man. I need it. Can't tell stories without it. Dry stories are boring, you see. So if you've got anything for a good old Idiot Doom Spiral, a bottle for a story seems fair to me. I've got some sweet Commodore Red. Give it. I don't have any on me right now, lie. But I don't want to give you any of my alcohol. I might have some more use for it. Now let's hear the story. I've got some sweet Commodore Red. Give it. I've lost a pen and my alcohol to this idiot. Classy. He snatches the bottle and pushes the cork in through the bottleneck. Before he can start, one of the other bums interjects, "Hey, Spiral Boy, you going to share that?" "Don't call me Abigail." "Don't call me Abigail." "Shut up, guys. I'm telling a story here." He turns to you. "Something happened to you. Something happened to me, too. My actual name is George, but around here, you already know I was once a reasonably high net worth individual, a founder/junior partner at a high concept creative services agency. When my story begins, I had just landed a major contract with an insurance firm. Go on. I used the profits from my agency to finance what I called a cultural incubator, abstract value generation, value per person, high concept stuff. I developed the paradigm, worked within the paradigm, but the burden of leadership weighed heavily upon me, so I went jogging ever so often to keep myself sane. Wait, how many people did you have working for you? 22 full-time employees, an all-star team, a potentially historical set of individuals. Worrying about them often kept me up well into the morning hours. Did the jogging help? It did. With my trusty Sansaric tracksuit, I felt like I could conquer the world. But now dreams are worn thin, much like my tracksuit, he says thoughtfully, brushing dust off his shit-stained pants. What happened? One day I left on my evening run. As you may know, it's impossible to clear your head when you're distracted by the sounds of keys jangling in your pockets. He shakes the bottle and makes a ringing sound. Perception. His eyes are clouded, his dilated blood vessels encircling his irises like stinging brambles. Conceptualization. His eyes are your eyes. So I removed the key ring and put the keys for the front gate and the apartment into different pockets to stop the jangling, you see. At least that was the plan. I was halfway done with my usual lap when it started to rain. The reality situation became very wet very quickly. How wet are we talking exactly? Wet, okay. It was raining really hard. There's a trace of derision in his voice. I made my way back home and discovered that I didn't have the key to the front gate. I'd mixed it up with the key to the letterbox, which was useless. Naturally, the situation required me to climb over the gate, which I did. There was no climbing down because I slipped and landed on my ass. Ouch. Ouch indeed. Reality was looking rather grim. Just then, me lying on my ass in a mud pit in the middle of a heavy shower. But when life knocked me down, I always got up. So I made my way across the yard, standing in front of my apartment door, fumbling with my pockets. I realised I'd also forgotten my apartment key. You've got to be shitting me. He turns his head towards the skies and says, I wish I were, Tequila. I wish I were. Instead of my apartment key, I'd taken the key to the office. Okay, so what happened next? I rang my neighbours' buzzers. It was late and most of them didn't even answer. Those who did assumed I was trying to sell them something and hung up before I could even explain the situation. People are naturally wary of admin, you see. One moment someone chats you up, 5 minutes later you've bought a box of edible lingerie and a strap-on. I don't begrudge them, especially since I was known to be one of the best. He pauses meaningfully. Just then I experienced a moment of clarity. I still had the key to my office. I could wait out the storm there. When I reached my office, I remembered that I'd asked one of my producers to change the locks that day, and since I'd hired only the best, he'd already done it and I couldn't get in. Anyway, long story short, life spiraled out of control. I haven't gotten into my apartment for years and my girlfriend left me because she didn't want to date a homeless man. The company, well, you see where I'm going with this. So now you've heard my tragic tale, what do you think? Like nothing you've ever heard, huh? He takes a long swig of his drink. Wait, is that it? I feel like there are some steps missing. I've only been a hobo cop for a few days now, but it doesn't seem so bad. Look on the bright side, you've got one hell of a story. Gonna have to take a quick intermission. My grandmother's nurse is here and I need to chat with her, so I'll be right back. Give me 2 minutes. Alright, sorry about that. As always, there's shit to do when you're a carer for a 97-year-old. Plus, if I'm sitting here chatting away while they're having a chat over there, that you can hear them screaming at each other in the background because my grandmother's deaf, and so that's a lot of, how are you doing? How are you? What did you eat for breakfast? You know, all of this shit. Plus, they're probably just wondering, the nurse is probably going to think I'm insane just talking to myself in this room. So, hey, it has to be done, but it means intermissions. I am sorry. So now you've heard my tragic tale. What do you think? Like nothing you've ever heard, Hunt takes a long swig of his drink. Wait, is that it? I feel like there's some steps missing. I've only been a hobo cop for a few days now, but it doesn't seem so bad. Look on the bright side. You've got one hell of a story. You do realise all of this is your own fault. I literally can't believe it. I've only been a hobo cop for a few days now, but it doesn't seem so bad. The hobo's lifestyle definitely has some perks. Not having to pay rent first and foremost. Not being responsible to any other people is nice too. But that charm wears off pretty quickly. Before you know it, you're wearing a shit-stained tracksuit and spending your days picking tear. Why do you keep losing all your stuff? Good fucking question, Tequila. If I knew the answer, you'd think I'd be hanging out on a beach in this formerly premium but now extremely dirty two-piece lycra TM tracksuit. I used to own my reality situation. My business buddies and I had our own creative services agency. I had a nice apartment, an even nicer piece of ass, but somehow it all got away from me. Now I can't hang on to anything. Just last week I stole this nice new jacket, but then I lost it too. The only things I haven't lost are these two trunks. What was the name of your agency? My agency man. He takes a long, melancholic sip. The Boom Boom Room. Our concept was combining high art with the lowest forms of marketing, the colour red, breasts and oil painting. I convinced my partners to reinvest some of our profits in an even more high concept cultural incubator called Thin Air. The artists were happy, the clients were happy. I was financing a group of poets in East Revachol who were developing a new universal poetic language, but then it all went to shit. He looks towards the bay. Conceptualization. Sounds intriguing. What say you, art cop? Logic. If it sounds like it makes no sense, that's because it doesn't. Mixing oil painting and breasts to make ads isn't high art, it's just cynical wankery. That's so high concept I have no idea what it means. Man, mixing high and low, commodifying culture, that is extremely my shit. Right, okay, never mind that I asked. Man, mixing high and low, commodifying culture, that's extremely my shit. I got an achievement for, say, 5 art cop lines. My god, am I art cop? I know, he takes a long wistful sip of his beer. It was fucking awesome. Too bad I went on a jog, unleashing a cascade of doom that washed it all away. What's up with the tracksuit? What? You've never seen 100% Lycra TM before? Go on, feel that primo material. The man extends his arm. 42% red check. No, I'll just admire it from afar, thanks. He nods. That might be the right idea. This here is one of the last of its kind. Should probably be in a museum, honestly. He takes another sip. Can't get it anymore. It was too primo, even for Grad. Encyclopedia. By primo, he means possibly carcinogenic. Lycra TM was a synthetic fabric developed by manufacturers in the middle 40s, notable mainly for the swishy sound it makes as the weather passes by. It's also known to become extremely itchy if not properly cared for. Rosemary, wow, you're lucky. He never lets me feel it. That's because your paws are fucking filthy, Rosemary. We're right next to the bay. You could wash them any time. Somehow, I'm out of water again. This is an outrageous situation that must be rectified immediately. What about the other drunks? My fellow members of the Union of Moribund Alcoholics, they're exactly what they look like. Rosemary, aye, Tequila, you want to buy some speed? Shut the fuck up, Rosemary. He's a cop, remember? I thought he was a cool cop. Don't call me Abigail. And this is Abs. He points to the man in the pipe. So yeah, that's basically us. We drink together. What's this about a lost jacket? Tequila, it's a verifiable tragedy. It was practically brand new. Sure, it didn't really go with my Lycra TM threads, but it did itch a lot less. He looks at you bleary-eyed. Say, you're a detective, right? Maybe you can help old Doom Spiral out. Solve the case of the missing jacket. What do you say, Tequila? Okay, sure. Where'd you lose it? If I knew where I'd lost it, don't you think I'd have it? I mean, maybe I was up by the boardwalk, or walking along the beach, or checking out the abandoned fish market. That's a lot of places. Somewhere north of here, that's for sure. You could ask around, see if anyone's seen it. Let me ask you something else. Have you got any more stories? I do, but as you can see, my fuel tank is running quite low. If you catch my drift. He spins the bottle in his hand. Not a single drop of liquid remains. I don't have any on me right now. He shrugs his shoulders dramatically. Cottonmouth is keeping my tongue imprisoned. Be seeing you. You too, Tequila Sunset. Composure. As you turn, a bright light catches your eye, making you squint. Cool. So cool. Where's it coming from? From a distant sunset, a stage light, flash photography, nowhere in particular. It's just what superstar laws officers do. They squint at lights and they solve shit. Actually, now that I hear superstar and law official in a sentence, they sound weird together. Yeah, that's me. I've been establishing my superstardom hard lately. Yeah, you have. You're a big dick cop. Dick Mullen. Salam Rocky Bahai. Badass on the edge disco cop. Time to recede into a ludicrous fantasy world. Here we go. Camera, lights. Wait, what's that about a ludicrous fantasy world? Action! Some kind of superstar. With a sudden flash, the world freezes around you and you along with it. In an iconic monochrome solution, a black silhouette against a rasterized orange world. It's on. What? Oh, we've got coins down here. I'll take those. Thank you. Okay. So the envelope has now been signed by 2 people. Get 2 signatures. So put envelope in the mailbox in the plaza. Hello, Natalie. Find Idiot Doom Spiral's jacket. Putting the mail like somewhere around the boardwalk, maybe at the abandoned fish market. What else are we doing here? Where are we? We're basically here? Yeah, that's the tube that this dude's in. So how do I get up to here? Is there a way through there? Or just walking here, do I? I'm alright, Natalie. I'm alright. I'm, practicing my professional lurking. Which, if you're still streaming, which you're not, you've moved on. So I'm now professionally lurking whoever you rated. Let's see. So is this something I just got? Some kind of superstar. First, let's make this absolutely clear. No one is saying you're an actual superstar and the groupies and cocaine riddled with hepatitis C strikes a lioness pose with a mic kind of way. You're not Guillaume Le Millon or Davy Dewis, no. You're a metaphorical superstar. You bring that rock and roll authenticity and passion to a line of work where people don't expect or want to see it. Where some would say it doesn't belong. Law enforcement. Yeah, okay, well, the tab that I had open that was yours is now Scarface, who's someone else I follow, so yeah. That's cool. I always wonder about auto hosting. I mean, I assume most people set their things up to only, say that there's a host if there's more than one person, so that 0 hosts don't constantly happen. But then, is it kind of rude to just auto host people? I don't know. It concerns me, but I have it set up. I have it set up for a few people, not many. Right, where are we? So, that's these dudes done, I guess. Let's go up the coast and see what's going up here then. Really should be a little black swallow circles above you. You hear it chirrup. Of course you do. Of course I hear it chirrup. Okay. The water runs from the west. The source is upstream. A broken pipe? Question mark? A yellow box in the grass. Morale. Nose are fed. Excellent. The rear tire of a motor carriage adorns these reeds. Rust-eaten letters read Mazout. Of course they do. Why wouldn't they? Let's keep to the left. Let's try and figure out where everything is around here. What's up here? Someone must have worked hard to smash the plastic dome. Oh, how nasty. These might be the other phones. A dead phone, a smashed receiver, like someone hang up too hard. What have we got here? I wonder where we are on the map now. So we must be walked around there. Okay, we're up here. So there's this thing. There's that thing I don't know how you get to. I must have missed it. The church. There's a tent here. Okay. Okay. Alright. I'll allow it. Give me that tear. Although I don't even know why I need so much money right now. How do I get to that? There we go. Give me that cash. Give me the cash. Take your time, gentlemen. Take your time. A big wine canister. It's open and empty. Moonshine probably. Smells like tasty fermentation. Alright, we've got... Careful there. These floorboards look rotten and weak. Perception smell. The smell. It's awful and familiar. Hold on. That is awful. Cover your nose. It doesn't help. You can still smell it. What is it? Don't you recognize it? That hideous pungency, that faintly cloying sweetness, only death smells like that. Half light, something cold wakes in the pit of your stomach. Fear. Encyclopedia. The signs of decaying meat. It announces itself from 24 meters away. A warning, a memento mori. Kim, what's that smell? The lieutenant has already brought a handkerchief to his nose. Eyes up, detective. Something's not right here. That's what I was going to say. This guy dead? Is that what you're telling me? Trash can. There is some tear, an empty cigarette package, and a crumpled kebab wrapper in the trash bin. Examine the tear. 2 empty bottles of Tallulah vodka and a can of black portent porter is all you find. Perception. No, there's more in there. Liver strawberry liquor, plus some Pilsner bottles too. Better not pick them up. They seem unhygienic. A tragedy. The lieutenant looks in the can, eyes watering from the smell. Examine the cigarette package. Whoever tossed it here was a heavy smoker. The brand name reads Red Astra. Encyclopedia. Red Astra is the black market version of Astra cigarettes, known for their high tar content. Examine the kebab wrapper. You see traces of mayonnaise and ketchup on them, as well as a tomato wedge. The wrapper reads Shish Kebab Revachol. Visual calculus. It's no older than a day or two. No mold yet. Perception. It's hard to concentrate in the smell. The sea air brings some relief. Okay, is this guy dead? Are you dead? Working class corpse. A man lies on the boardwalk, his limbs bent and neck turned at an unnatural angle. Right next to him is an empty bottle of spirits. In his cramped hand, a chewing gum wrapper. Perception. The smell is not as bad as a 2-week-old corpse, but it's definitely heading there. Hold on, the lieutenant squats next to the corpse and examines his face. 2 bulging eyes stare back at him, void of any signs of life. Lividity is faintly pronounced. Whoever this is, he's been dead for 2 days, no longer. He stands up and shivers as a gust of wind blows through his bomber jacket. We need to investigate. Composure. Calm now. Careful. Carefully. Carefully. Just another day. Just another dead body. Breathe. Alright, study the man's clothes. He's wearing mudcake boots, beige trousers, and an old brown leather jacket with a bright blue lining. There are traces of kebab sauce on his chest. Composure. The leather jacket suits him well. It must be custom made. Search his pockets. Folded library card. You find some sunflower seeds and a rain-soaked library card folded into 2. His jacket feels sodden and heavy under your hand. Good. We should take a look at that library card after this is done. Study the man himself. The man has fallen through a crack in the boardwalk and hit his head against the metal bench. Coagulated blood covers his black hair. One of his feet is still tangling through the hole. Electrochemistry. You have to be quite inebriated to fall that bad. Well over a litre of pure ethanol, 3 bottles of wine, or 1.5 spirits. Logic. Or maybe it was just dark. Savoir-faire. When damp, these boards are really slippery. Even a sober man could lose their balance here. Examine his face. Examine your face. His expression is dull like the sea behind him, drops of water shining on his moustache. His eyes, empty and wide, look frightening in their frozen gaze. Visual calculus. Height 170 to 175 centimeters, curly hair, stout build. Age approximately 50 to 60 years. Study the surroundings. There's some dried blood on the metal bench right where the corpse's head rests. The floorboards are rotten and slippery wet around the hole. An empty bottle lies nearby. A chewing gum wrapper is clutched in his fist. Savoir-faire. Be very, very careful where you step here. Examine the man's head. A dried chunk of blood covers the hair at the back of his head, an open wound. It's sticky and cold to your touch. Logic. This is what killed him. I don't see any other major wounds. Do you? No, just this one at the back of his head. Seems like the head wound was fatal. It's exactly the shape of the bench. Examine the bottle. A 0.75 litre Tallulah vodka with its cap missing. There's hardly anything left inside. Electrochemistry. It's mid-market spirits with a slight touch of menthol. The man meant to enjoy himself, have a good time. Tear all around us. He looks at two other bottles near the coin-operated viewer, then at your yellow plastic bag. I'd prefer if you didn't collect them this time. It's not proper. Okay. I mean, I need the money, but you're right. Examine the chewing gum wrapper. Robuski spearmint chewing gum, green leaves on the cover. The man's mouth is half agape from the terror of the fall. Look in. The blackness of death, stench. You think you see white chewing gum too. He ate the whole pack, right? It's to cover the smell of alcohol before going home. The worst thing is, the lieutenant shudders from the cold. I've seen it before, almost the same scenario. Even the chewing gum, it's always the same. Now, my perception said be careful where you step, so I'm guessing if I were to step on the floorboards, something bad might happen, so let's step back. The entire boardwalk creaks in the wind as you take a step back. Who is this man? Looks like one of the locals. He'd have to know this spot to come here. You don't just walk over here. He looks south the way you came. But that's just a lazy assumption. What do you think? Electrochemistry. At least this man knew how to party. Imagine the same scene without the bottle. Now that would be just sad. What we're witnessing here is demise of a great party beast. That leather jacket, an empty vodka bottle, kiss your fingers. Looks like just another old drunkard to me. I think labeling him as an alcoholic is a bit premature. We don't know anything yet. Nah, what we're witnessing here is demise of a great party beast. That leather jacket, an empty vodka bottle. Ah! The wedding ring. The lieutenant points at the ring on the man's left hand, the flesh around it swollen and grey. But let's not try to run ahead. For now, all we know is that he's an unidentified middle-aged man found dead on the Martinez boardwalk. What do you think happened here? Death by misadventure. He slipped and fell through the boardwalk. A truly unfortunate accident. If it wouldn't have been for that bench, he'd be alive. Could it be related to the lynching? Do you think he was a drunk? Point at the bottle. What about the kebab? Someone should be held responsible for this broken boardwalk. It's dangerous. Yeah, let's do that one first. They'll seal this place off after the news reaches the coalition officials. I doubt that they have enough resources to actually repair the boardwalk. Not that sealing it off would keep anyone away. All it does is keep the city's council's hands clean. He smiles curtly. Could it be related to the lynching? No, I don't see anything that points in that direction. For now, let's treat this case as a simple, albeit sad, accident unrelated to the murder case. Logic. Agreed. If this somehow converges later, why not? But keep it simple for now. Do you think he was drunk? Point at the bottle. Oh yes, the lieutenant nods. What about alcohol poisoning and liver failure? Some symptoms of acute alcohol poisoning could have definitely played a role here. Severe confusion, respiratory depression, unpredictable behaviour. But I think the death arrived through head trauma, not liver failure. And what about the kebab? What about it? The deceased ate some kebab, he shrugs. It's probably from a nearby place, maybe in the pox. Logic, sometimes a kebab is just a kebab. I don't know, sometimes some kebabs at 3 in the morning after a night out are just more than a kebab. Right, it does seem to be a pretty straightforward misadventure, although there's still the question of identifying the body. What should we do with him? From where I stand, I can see two options. We either take the case and follow the leads to identify the body on our own, or we report back to the station and leave this for our colleagues to handle. Hold on, what about field autopsy? We found him, we should finish this, take the case. Let's leave this case for the station. I don't want to spend time on it, don't take the case. I still need some tonight, blah, blah, blah. Hold on, what about a field autopsy? Field autopsy isn't necessary if the cause of death doesn't appear to be criminal, and this looks like a simple accident to me. I'd say we should just write down head trauma in the autopsy report and leave it at that. It would save us at least 2 hours of unnecessary work. You're right, I don't see anything criminal here. Let's leave it at that. Good call. The guys at processing can take care of the rest. We found him, we should finish this, take the case. Alright, we should first examine that library card you found, then we can call the station from my Kinema, then let them know we're taking the case. Okay, alright. Things continue. Let's see this. Well, I don't have the option to pick up anything. This coin-operated viewer has been out of order for years. Stop messing with the coin viewer and hold on to something. The wind is so strong. Alright, what did we get here? We got folded library card. Found from a pocket of the dead man on the Martinez boardwalk. It's still slightly damp to the touch. The cover bears the stamp of Jamrock Public Library. A folded library card. The library card is folded into two and still slightly wet to the touch. The front side reads Central Jamrock Public Library card issued to Billy Mejean expires July 53. Logic. Billy is a unisex name, could be the deceased or his family member. Look inside. Whoever owns this card is an avid reader. You find a list of books written in blue pencil. Radio thriller. Stand a little less between me and the sun. The last one in the list is The Glinting Curve by M. Thibault. A library stamp indicates that the book has been returned. Conceptualization. Most of these titles seem to be in the sci-fi genre, some thrillers too. Look at the backside. If lost, please return the card to the library, dial 00502552211 or visit us at Merrow Street, 78 Jamrock, business hours 9 to 18. Good, he takes a note. We should give them a call from my Kinema, see if we can learn anything about Millie Mejean. Put it away! Okay. Right, so, dead body on the wall. Yeah, call Jamrock, call the station about the dead body. What we're going to do is take a quick break. It's been an hour of streaming, so that means get up, move around, get a drink, and I'll be back in a couple of minutes. Alright, we're back. Alright, what do we need to be doing here? Let's, where's the map? So that was over here. Okay, cool. Alright, well, let's keep looking around. Didn't look at this building. Alright, well, we've got stuff over here first anyway. Makeshift roof. Vagrants have tried to make the boardwalk habitable. Habitable. The tarp will keep out neither rain nor snow nor wind. Oh, well, fucking useless. Postcard Couron, 33. What's the idea with these postcards? This one has hell written on its back. It could not be further from the truth. It's the boom years and Couron, the nicest district in Revershol West, is enjoying a sun-drenched day. Tall and handsome buildings rise from the riverside, steel, iron and yellow limestone, with cloud shadows sliding on the facades. Ah, of course, of course. A coin-operated weighing machine hasn't been used for a decade. A box. Oh, +2 encyclopedia, -1 perception. What have I got? Visual calculus minus drama. Feel like I should go this one just because it gives you a total. It's a +1 really. This is a +0. Or a -0, however you want to look at it. Why have I have got 1 bullet but no gun. Alright, let's put on the nerd glasses. Why not? Mega Binos prescription lenses. Vagrants have recently painted the tarp red. Water drips from it. Go over here. Nope. Oh, something down here. Glass tear. Tar. I'm not even sure how you say that word, to be perfectly honest with you. Railing. Someone has left an unidentifiable article of clothing on this railing. It smells really bad. Take a closer look. It's streaked with dried seagull shit and tangled with pieces of seaweed. A dangling arm suggests there might be a jacket beneath the crust of filth. Logic. It seemed likely that it was left in the surf until someone laid it out on this fence to dry out. Unfortunately, that just seems to have stiffened it into a shapeless mass. Please tell me you're not taking that with you. I think this is the jacket the idiot doom spiral guy wanted me to find. The lieutenant looks at the stinking rags and sniffs. I'm sure he'll be thrilled to have it returned. Did I get it? I'm taking it. Filthy jacket. Interact. As you hold it in your hands, it makes an uncomfortable crunching sound. Man, how did this jacket get so disgusting? It's a sordid and filthy tale, not for the weak. Are you sure you can stomach it? Composure. Some secrets are better left uncovered. Don't even try, seriously. Think about it. It occurs to you that you're not even holding the jacket itself, but rather the thick crust of jetsam and seagull shit that ensconces it. Gross. Why? Why did you think about it? Look at your hands. They're covered in muck. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Flick your hands. Ah, morale. No. Now you're just flicking that shit everywhere. This is a disaster. You'll never get the smell out. Okay. Okay, I'm being defeated by a fucking smelly jacket. Wait, was there a way through here over here? Possibly, possibly, yes. This is how I get to this building. Bars cover these long dusty windows. Hearing. The remaining windows rattle from a strong gust of wind. They're covered in a thick layer of grime. They must have been like this for 40 years. Try to see inside. Dripping water falls from a high place. All you can see is the shadow of a collapsing staircase. Visual calculus. There's rust and corrosion on the bars. They're foaming with it, and a small layer of white salt from the sea. Lieutenant, can you make out what's inside? Point at the windows. No, he shakes his head. The windows rattle in their frames. I won't even try. You know, he takes his glasses off. I had a partner once. They called him Eyes because he had to show me things. It's that bad. Can you still shoot? Can you still shoot though? Well enough actually. It's odd how that works. I'm no sharpshooter, but I passed my shooting courses 7 out of 10. Okay. Okay, we've got hipples, and we've got a poster. Talk to the poster first. Feld mural. Feld electrical. Recherche et développement. Ah, you see a once bright mural towering above you. The signage has peeled off over the years, but you can still make out Feld electrical research and development. Turn away. Alright, let's just see what's in this box. Give me the money. Another power box. It charges nothing now. It's empty. What do you mean another power box? The fence blocks the path. No way on from here. Oh wow, there's people over here. So where am I? I can't even see out that way. This map doesn't go that far. Okay, he's going to try and go there. So that's alright. Let's talk to these people. Or not?
And
can we do it?
Mikhail,
Okay.
Notice the windows, especially with how there are no windows on the south side. This was to deal with.
A blonde man stands next to his son, pointing to the weather-worn ruins. He sees you approaching and smiles.
You, officers, come to investigate the historic subtext of West Martinez. I'm Trant Heidelstadt. You must be Kim Kitsuragi, right? I was just telling my son about this building. Not a lot of people realize the historic significance here. Very rich in hypertext.
He turns to the lieutenant.
Nice to meet you.
The lieutenant nods. Hold on. Hypertext?
Yes, hypertext. Jan Karp and the collection of cultural hyperlinks.
He says as if it's self-evident. Wait, what was that about the windows before?
Oh, yes. So, Mikhail, they had to deal with monitor glare, especially in the summer. They still had vector monitors back then. That was 49 years ago, so they didn't have windows on the south wall.
You and Kim know each other?
No, I can't say that we've met before, but I've heard of Kim, of course. Mikhail, say hi to the officers.
He rests his hand on the boy's shoulder. The child stays hidden behind the hem of his father's coat, clutching to his worm-themed colouring book.
Mikhail's a little tired today. We spent all night trying to run Orbis on his radio computer. Have you heard of it? It's a programming language used in Grad. Quite tricky, but he wanted to play this Grad-made adventure program. We've been getting really into worms lately.
Drama. The man speaks in the artificial cadence of a professor, or someone who's been on too many radio shows.
But I assume you're not here for giant worms, when there are so many real things to see. Just as I was telling Mikhail before, this is where the Coalition landed in '08. We could be standing on what is the most interesting landmark in Revachol West.
He points to the building again. Encyclopedia. Wow, get a load of this guy. He really enjoys his trivia. The Orbis programming language was named after its inventor, Victor Orbis, a cybernetician from Grad. They run Vox in the Occidental countries. What's so fascinating about an empty old building? You look like someone who has money. Do you have any money? What's so fascinating about an empty old building? Aha, but it's not just any empty old building. He raises his hand to his eyes, springtime sun warming his handsome face. All four of you turn to admire the mural before you. What not a lot of people know is this used to be the research and development department of Feld Electrical, and Feld, which now sells ink cartridges mostly, was once a top dog in the turn of the century cybernetics boom. I'm having hiccups now. Look at the building looming over you. It looks like old and weathered, with seagulls picking apart its stone and metal carcass. Bushy undergrowth has taken hold of the collapsed rooftop. Some kind of bird has set up a nest on a broken windowsill. I don't think I've ever heard of this Feld Electrical. That's not surprising. Only a vestigial ink cartridge and ferrotape manufacturer remains. He adjusts his suit jacket. They started out as a midway electronics outfit in Königstein 2 centuries ago. After an aggressive move to Revachol, Feld became a global player in the emerging personal electronics market of the pre-revolutionary era. Still, Tricentennial was beating them in business machines. He gestures towards the building, but Feld had an ace up their sleeve. Or should I say, they were developing an ace up their sleeve. He grins. I'm mixing my metaphors here. What was that ace? It was here in Martinez, possibly in this very building, that they developed prototypes for, he pauses for effect, tape computer. A tape computer? An elegant folding mechanism of rollers and ferrotape ribbons, portable enough to be a take-it-at-home solution, revolutionizing business machines, possibly even bringing them to the average consumer. Which is a feat of engineering even today's giants Ream, ICN and ZAM haven't achieved yet. He grins, admiring the sentence he just produced. Composure. He assumes something like a combat stance, facing the wind. What happened? Indeed, what? The revolution. The boy wipes his nose on his sleeve. He nods. Unfortunately, their moonshot project never made it to the market. Feld's move to Revachol backfired. The revolutionary government liquefied their assets and expropriated those very advanced prototypes, possibly from this very building or one of the adjacent ruins. He pauses, pointing to the other buildings, then continues. All of this was built by Feld, even the boardwalk. Wild Pines built Martinez proper as a resort for their middle management. Feld built this side of town for R&D. You're saying that Feld Electrical built this boardwalk? What happened to the engineers, the company people? What did the revolutionaries do with those advanced tape computers? How do those tape computers work? Actually, no one knows. No one even knows what a computer made entirely of tape would look like, but word has it they were very elegant, exquisite, alien-looking, turn-of-the-century hardware. He raises his finger, remembering something. Encyclopedia. Buckle up! 10 years ago, I did a little freelancing, I guess you could say. I was a special consultant for an exhibition at the Wompty Dumpty Dom Centre in Vredefort, Orange. It raised the same questions, and we had lengthy discussions with Paul Ockerman, who was head curator at the time. This was before the twins Keith and Guy Euste joined the team, trying to... Reaction speed. Wait, did he just say Wompty Dumpty Dom Centre? Encyclopedia. What the hell is a Wompty Dumpty Dom Centre? And who the hell are Keith and Guy Euste? Okay, the Wompty Dumpty Dom Centre? Paul Ockerman, Keith and Guy Euste? What are you talking about? The Wompty Dumpty Dom Centre for Contemporary Arts. There it is again, those words. The exhibition itself drew on Lagerman's notion of memory, and so there were some parallels. That's why the head curator, Paul Ockerman, chose to... You're making this up, turned to Lieutenant Kim. Is he making this up? In fact, I'm not. The Wompty Dumpty Dom Centre, he says casually, is a place you can visit if you're ever in Vredefort and are ever in the market for an exhibition space / contemporary art research centre. He clears his throat. Perhaps I should return to the tape computers. As I was saying, the device itself was very elegant, fragile even. One could write directly onto the tape using a special chemical solution. The machine would then analyse the handwriting, perform operations, and project output onto a white screen. It was a beautiful, delicate thing. Conceptualization, made of black film and folding tape structures. Nod. Cool. Very, very cool, he agrees. Though I understand the socio-economic causes of the revolution, it pains me to imagine the revolutionaries setting fire to this precious device. But so they did. The Feld playback experiment vanished into the fires of 07. Why did the revolutionaries destroy it? Who knows? Maybe it was an accident, or maybe they didn't want the technology to end up in the wrong hands. Either way, they're all gone now, all 3 versions of the prototype. Nothing but debris and ashes remains inside that building. He takes a step back, the boardwalk creaks mournfully in the wind. Are you saying that Feld Electrical built this boardwalk? Look under your feet? Yes, they even built a pleasure wheel, but that got destroyed in the war. A pleasure wheel? The lieutenant looks wistfully at the horizon, as if picturing gondolas rising to the sky. Yes, to lure in their star engineers, this part of Martinez was nothing but reeds before Feld arrived. They had to make the prospect of living here attractive. It was supposed to become a global centre for innovation in cybernetics, but history had other plans. What happened to the engineers, the company people? Oh, I'm afraid it didn't end well for the boys. He smiles again, as if he's somehow personally responsible for this bleak turn of events. This story's a bit too dark for little Mikhail here. Now, if you were to ask about tape computers... Rhetoric. He means that the boys got shot by the communists. The boys were bourgeois. Turn to Mikhail. He means they all got shot in the head because they were bourgeois. Now do you know what the bourgeoisie is? Tape computers, right. Tape computers, he nods, wind tussling his suit jacket. What did the revolutionaries do with those advanced tape computers? They used them for military communications, he said, while his son looks up, idly chewing on the corner of his worm-themed colouring book, but also to write and send out press releases, the most notorious example being Le Décret de Mars. What was that? What's the March Decree? It means It means the radio transmission sent out to news agency and world governments by the newly created Commune of Revachol on the 7th of March in the year 02. A short-lived legislative foundation for a short-lived utopia. It's a beautiful piece of text, actually. A singer-songwriter I know, Charlotte, called it a love poem to Revachol on her political concept album, Bon Baiser d'Insuline. You should read it. Every local library in Revachol stocks a copy of the decree. I tried to get Mikhail to memorize it. He looks at his son, who starts giggling, his face hidden behind the book. Tried to. Someone was much too interested in worms to be paying any attention. I wanted to ask something else. But of course, what else? He smiles and ruffles his kid's head. You look like someone who has money. Do you have any money? I do have some money, yes, but that's not what's really important here. He brushes it off like it's not a thing at all. Rhetoric. No, I mean, come on, you need the money. If it's not a thing, he can give you some. Could I have some of that unimportant money then? Oh no, I don't have it on me, officer. I was talking in more general terms. He looks uncomfortable, his left hand squeezing his son's shoulder. I'm just spending time with my kid here, showing him around the lesser known parts of our hometown. It wouldn't be wise to carry huge amounts of cash on such expeditions. Physical instrument. Not that he would have to worry about being robbed. He looks surprisingly buff. Does he work out? By the way, do you work out? I do some low man-thang stick fighting now and then. Encyclopedia. Low man-thang stick fighting is a form of martial arts originating from the Isle of Low Man-thang. It uses slender wooden sticks for confronting the opponent. Form of martial arts from the Isle of Low Man-thang, right? Actually, a great many cultures have their own version of stick fighting, such as the sacred Mabolo tradition of the Hali people, the name deriving from the butterfruit tree traditionally used for crafting the long slender sticks. Whereas the sticks used in other cultures, you doze off as he paints you a comprehensive picture of the history of stick fighting among mankind, seasoning it with unexpected pop cultural references. Rhetoric. Man, he's good at speaking. People must love him. But anyway, he says after a while with his charming, apologetic smile, I am boring you with details again. You were saying? I'm not really interested in the practice. I just want to know how often you work out. Now and then. That's what, like once a week? Low man-thang stick fighting is a little like Pyrrholidon addiction. Is that how I decided to say that? Pyrrholidon addiction, he explains with a little smile. I've been practicing it for nearly 20 years now, so you could say my doses have grown a little peculiar. Electrochemistry. Wait, what does this man know about Pyrrholidon addiction? Hold on, Pyrrholidon addiction? What an interesting metaphor. Study his face. Or perhaps not a metaphor at all. You got me, detective, he chuckles before a shadow takes hold of his face, but my history should hardly come as a surprise. Mikhail. Suddenly little Mikhail opens his mouth. Dad's fighting with sticks every night after dinner for 4 hours. He has a special room for that and a special costume. That's right, Mikhail. Trant grabs his kid into a single-handed embrace, happy to change the subject. It also has a meditative quality, helps to clear my head. But anyway, he says, swaying with his hand. Great, thank you for all the information. No, thanks to you for having me and little Mikhail here to pick your brain. A very interesting conversation indeed. Rhetoric. Pick your brain? If anything, this was rather one-sided. He did the talking. Whatever. Speaking of autosave, let's do a non-autosave as well. Just to be safe. Oh, we've got blue things here. What's this? What are these blue things? It's money! And a nose of Fed. Give me that money. Alright, let's keep looking around. We can go down here. Go up over here. We can. So what's... hang on. Where's the map? That was this building. There's a building here as well. Let's see if we can see it. No, we can't. Not from this angle. Let's go out into this area here and see what's going on. No boat in the boathouse today. This section of the coast hasn't been used in decades. Hypnogamma. Healing item. Oversized superstar sunglasses. Interesting. Boathouse is shoddily constructed. A strong breeze might blow it over. Still haven't found this girl that we're meant to be looking for. Ancient paint is peeling off the roof of this shaded bench covered in rust. Go around here? No, so there's an invisible wall there. That's as far as we go. Come on, let's go. Alright, we've got... The sign says Entrée interdite. Can I get to this one? An old ticket taker booth, no longer in operation. Man, these boards don't look safe. See all that shit? See what this is? Sight. A scattering of bullet holes is spread across the cracked wall, reaching from one corner to the other. Look, Kim, even more bullet holes. Something definitely gone down here. Why this many bullet holes? Bullet holes in the plaza, bullet hole in the backyard. You know about the revolution. You know about field electrical. My grandmother is screaming blue murder at the moment, so I'm guessing her earphones, her earpieces have run out of battery. I'm gonna have to go fix that, so sorry chat, I'll be right back. Alright, everything's fine. It's just, you know, 97 years old of life gets some people down. Probably everyone down. We'll find out when we get there, huh? I have no intention of ever making it to 97, let me tell you. What a disaster life is. Okay, look, Kim, even more bullet holes. Something definitely gone down here. Correct, the lieutenant examines the wall closely. The density of the bullet holes is unusual, even in a general average bullet hole frequency in Martinet's sense. Grim affairs. Meaning, this is a lot of bullet holes. He brushes the wall with his hand. Looks like fully automatic rifle fire, something you don't see these days. Why not? The manufacturing and sale of automatic rifles was curtailed after the revolution. The destructive power of such tools proved to be too much. We need to retain some humanity in this world. Oh, how terribly sage and wise. Get rid of automatic weapons. They're only there to kill humans. I'm not saying get rid of all guns, you know? You still need to shoot fucking deer and shit, whatever. Wolves. Get rid of automatic weapons. That's my rant for the moment. Alright, so 83%, I will almost certainly fail. I succeeded. Jesus, what's going on here? Visual calculus. A row of ghostly shades stand facing the wall. There are many of them, a dozen at least, their heads lowered and eyes blindfolded. It's quiet, no sound, no movement. 10 meters away, other shades are lined up in an orderly manner, automatic rifles primed. A gust of wind blows by, the coats of the firing squad flap slowly in the breeze. A single person stands on the side. The sun blazes high up in the sky, baking the planks, the sand, your skin. The order was carried out in the afternoon. A long time has passed since the movement of this fusillading. The moment of this fusillading. Rain and brine have since washed all the blood away. Not a trace remains. What is this? Visual calculus. The abundance of bullet holes leads to two options. Either an inordinate amount of executions were performed here, or they did not use a conscience round, where only one soldier has the loaded rifle. Looks like this was a mass execution with everyone fully armed. Look at the people against the wall. A host of men, probably in everyday clothes, ragged from the conflict and covered in dust. They were not sitting, a common practice for execution in some nations, as demonstrated by the height level of the bullet holes. They stand facing the wall. It's impossible to discern any details about their personality or background. Look at the line of soldiers. 7 men in combat, uniforms and dark coats, holding automatic rifles aimed at the people. Soldiers from one side, but from which one? Look at the person standing on the side. The Commandant, the one who gives the order, machine gun fire crackling through the air, the lights of the muzzle flashes dancing on his face. Kim, who is who in this execution? At first the lieutenant doesn't say a word, he just stares at the wall. I don't know, he says finally. I don't know who died here, lined up beside that horrible wall. It could have been any of the parties involved in the revolution. Perhaps the ones executed here were the loyalist conservatives, killed by the communists at the start of the Civil War. Or it could have been the communists put to death during the last stretch of the conflict by the coalition forces. Logic. Remember what Trant Heidelstein said about Feld. What if it was the Feld personnel when their assets were being seized by the revolutionaries? Lieutenant nods. Another likely scenario. Reaction speed. Or maybe, what about people from the coalition, the so-called moralists? Yeah, it's very unlikely the coalition forces were the ones who died here. They were always the last ones against the wall. To be honest, if a coalition member was anyone in this situation, it was the commandant, the superior giving the orders. Goodbye. A cold sea wind blows away the figures. Right, so we've got a point, a skill point. Do we want... We're still doing one of those, so let's actually put a skill point in something. Have I had anything failing lately? Not really. What do I want? So, anything very low on... What's rhetoric? Enjoy rigorous intellectual discourse. Yeah, let's do that. Why not? I'm sure I had a plan at some point 4 months ago when I was playing this before, but now I have no idea. No idea what I'm doing. What did we... Why is that suddenly new? Oh, it's because I went up in rhetoric. Right, that's reopened that white check. Okay. Got it. Got it, I understand. Possibly. What else have we got around here? We've got a bucks. Give me the cash. Alright. Give me the actual cash. Nice. The door is not only barred shut, it is inaccessible. Right. What does that mean? F-A-L-N Peepo Peepo. What's a Peepo Peepo? Is it a hat? It is. Nice. Well, you know, it's +1 basically. Logic's good. Don't mind logic. I'll take logic. We can't get out there. This was just... There was not much there. Just stuff to pick up. Now we go and see if we can talk to these nerds over here. That we saw from a distance. The yellow box they're hiding. Give me that money. Okay, we've got a good dude here. Tiny cages, carefully constructed. Tiny ball on end of string.
Here we go. Nice and easy. No way out, little guys. Not out of this jam.
We have found the cryptozoologist. At long last. There is a cylinder on the ground in which the man is arranging some netting. It looks like some kind of trap. He notices you.
Who's there? Oh, the police. Hello, officer.
Composure. His self-conscious enthusiasm renders his movements ungainly. He looks like your understanding of a scientist.
Is that the police? Why's the police here?
Why are you in a cupboard? Gary, the crypto-fascist.
Don't worry, Gary. I'll handle it.
You must be Morel, the cryptozoologist.
To what do I owe the pleasure?
Rhetoric. That's sarcasm. He takes no pleasure from your appearance. Lena sent me. She's been really worried about you and is waiting for you to get back.
Ah, of course. Thank you for passing along the message. That damn waterlock is broken, and we can't go all the way around the 881.
Encyclopedia. The 881 is a raised motorway that separates Martinez from Jamrock. The labyrinth of streets underneath it makes it difficult to pass, not like walking over a nice waterlock. Yeah, that was me. I broke the waterlock with my motor carriage, but it's fixed now. You can go back.
You broke the waterlock with the motor carriage? But there was a billboard in the canal. Not a vehicle, it said Samaran Butter.
He looks south. I guess you're right. It was really the sign's fault. Anyway, you can go back now. No, it was all me. I caused you delay and I'm sorry, but you can return now.
Did he say we can go back now?
Yes, Gaddy, we can go soon. If you see Lena, tell her I won't be long.
He turns to you.
Sir, your wife is waiting for you.
I just have to do one more round. See if the phasmid has taken the bait. Then we're going.
He refastens a bit of netting that has come loose in the wind. Tell me about this phasmid you're looking for. Pour some more wine. Because, playing a game about an alcoholic doesn't really help my own alcoholism. Well, first of all, it's damn difficult to find, which is why we've been knee-deep in the reeds laying traps for it. What makes it so difficult to find? Good question. Being a phasmid of the order of Phantasmodia, a ghost insect, it disguises itself as plant matter, in this case the reeds. He looks around. Awful lot of reeds around, aren't there? And I suspect it may also have developed other specialised techniques to protect itself from predators, or scientists in our present case. What sorts of specialised techniques is the phasmid using to hide itself? My hypothesis that it has evolved certain electrochemical defences that allow it to interfere with animal perception, impeding pattern recognition, confusing the visual cortex. But I cannot describe how these defences work, much less how they've evolved, without studying a live specimen. Conceptualization. A ghost insect, he said. These people are looking for a ghost. Ghost insect. So you're ghost hunters? No, that is precisely what we're not. We are zoological specialists looking for an extant species of phasmid. How big is this phasmid? I'm expecting it to be quite giant. One known species of phasmid, called the Megaphasmodia zuensis, is about the size of a grown man's forearm, so he leaves the conclusion up to you. Why are you so interested in this stick bug? Aren't there more sensational animals out there? He flashes you a sideways smile. Typical rookie assumption. Insects are much more sophisticated creatures than those unversed in zoology give them credit for. Even simply catching a glimpse of the Insulindian phasmid would be the apex of my or any cryptozoologist's career. But to study it and its defences, find out how it stayed hidden so long, he shakes his head. Electrochemistry would be glory itself. What have you discovered about it so far? Very little, I'm sorry to say. No one's ever captured a specimen, so all our information is based on first and third-hand accounts. So no one's ever found one? Not yet, he holds up an index finger. That's what makes it a cryptid. The lieutenant interjects. Just out of curiosity, if there's no proof of its existence, how do you know it's real? I know it's real, the cryptozoologist says, brusquely enough that even he seems taken aback by it. Rhetoric. It's clear that his obsession with the phasmid is driven by something more than the pure pursuit of scientific advancement. By which I mean, he says, gathering himself, I've heard enough first-hand accounts to believe quite firmly that the Insulindian phasmid is more than mere superstition. Lena said there had been a sighting of it here in Martinez. Yes, the most recent sighting was by a couple of teenagers along the coast here. That's what brought us to Martinez specifically. It's the first credible sighting in several decades. Admittedly, it's an unusual location for this species, but with all the sewage runoff upstream, it probably doesn't matter much more anymore. Maybe the Insulindian phasmid has died out. The cryptozoologist shakes his head vigorously. I have to resist the thought. Such an extraordinary creature is doubtlessly highly resilient. Why can't I say that word? It's a perfectly simple word, resilient. After all, it's generally thought to be capable of parthenogenesis. Encyclopedia. He means asexual reproduction. The females of the species don't need to mate to produce viable eggs. This makes it easier for a species with a small population to survive. That's pretty clever. Females reproducing without males? A travesty, a crime against passion and common sense. This arouses no special feelings in me. And it shouldn't. Nature does not concern herself with ethical propositions. As a scientist, my interest is strictly dispassionate. Tell me more about these traps. Well, he points to the cage of mesh and wiring on the ground. They may not look impressive, but Lena designed them quite cleverly, so I'm sure they'll do the trick. Lena designed the traps? Yes, he says with some pride. How do the traps work? Simple. Attracted by the locust, the phasmid crawls down the funnel and, having eaten its fill, can't get back out. At least that's the intention. The net isn't a perfect solution, but we didn't want to use anything that might damage the specimen's delicate exoskeleton. What are you using as bait? Locusts, he gestures towards the trap. Nearly all known phasmids are herbivores, of course, but we've hypothesized that the insulindian phasmid might occasionally prey on other insects. Sight. Inside the traps, a number of locusts crawl and tumble over one another in a tiny chittering swarm. Logic. Logic. A meat-eating stick insect? Does it pretend to be the reeds as part of its ambush behavior? This seems unlikely. A carnivorous stick insect? Seems unlikely. Thank you for your opinion. We have also included plant material in the traps to satiate your skepticism. What will you do if these traps don't work? They'll work, I assure you. The predatory hypothesis using locusts as bait accounts for the failure of previous efforts by other teams which used plants. We have given this some thought. Interfacing. The traps do seem to be deftly and thoughtfully constructed. It's clear the cryptozoologist's wife knows what she's doing. Let me ask about something else. Yes, what? Lena seems pretty eager for you to return. And I'm eager to return to her, I assure you, but I can't leave before we've finished with these traps. He looks south where Lena would be. My wife understands that just as well as anyone. Gary. Come on, Morel, we've been soaking out here for days. It's time to go back. And leave the traps? Absolutely not, he yells in response. I won't let Lena down. Come on, she wants us back. I'm soaked up to my nuts over here. We'll both catch reed crabs if we don't dry out soon. I didn't know the phasmid was so important to Lena. Of course it's important to her. She's seen it. A verified sighting on record, one of only 4 this century, and it's hers. Really? She sighted the phasmid? She didn't tell me about that. Yes, that's how we first came to know one another, in fact, but that's her story to tell, not mine. He coughs, then continues. Suffice to say, it's long been our dream to find proof of the insulindian phasmid together. I cannot abandon course now. Another cough into his fist this time. Maybe you could go back to the whirling warm-up, come back and check the traps later? You should just give up on this bug hunt. Okay, I understand. I don't give up on things either. That one. No. The traps need to be monitored on a regular schedule. What would we do if the phasmid were to starve while we were sipping tea at the hostel? Interfacing. I could go for some trap setting. What if we check the traps for you? He looks at you with obvious surprise. I didn't expect you to take such an interest in our work here, officer. Cryptozoology and detective work are very similar. Chaos is my method. I am its scion. I'm all in with this cryptid shit. I'm hooked. Chaos is my method. I am its scion. Well, he doesn't know what to say. Be that as it may, I'd really appreciate the help. Where are these traps? There are 4 in total. One is to the south on this little peninsula by the boathouses there. He points south. It's very near. Another we set in Land's End to the northeast is behind a small sand dune there on your way to the old radio tower after the church. The third is set near the canal where you crossed by a concrete slab. A big thicket of reeds going up the slope, and among them he gestures to the trap in front of him. You should check at least one of those before returning to this one, since I just said it. This one's more of a technicality, but still better safe and stupid than sorry. That seems like a lot. Do we really have time for this extracurricular venture? The pursuit of knowledge is its own justification. What, aren't you having fun? Even relative to examining a week's-old corpse, I'm not sure mucking about in the reeds qualifies as fun, but have it your way, detective. What do I do if there's a phasmid in one of the traps? Bring it to me at once, just make sure the trap is closed tight. Drama. He's not comfortable with the possibility that you'll claim the find, but he's lying about this even to himself. What if I encounter the phasmid in the wild? That's highly unlikely, officer, but in the event you do, he takes out a small white spray can. I'll spray you with a pheromone mixture I developed. It's made of musk and research chemicals. The pheromones should attract the insect to you, or at least prevent it from bolting at the side of you. It's quite potent, will last you about a week. Lay it on me. Lay it on me thick. Present your armpit. I don't want this, thank you. Lay it on me thick. He douses you with the odd-smelling spray, a double helping as you present your other armpit, and then gives you a satisfied nod. Shivers. This is the smell of dying reeds, of longing crumbling into the water. Lieutenant wrinkles his nose. I hope you're not buying this. He dispenses it without letting you touch the canister, so it would be precious, like holy water. It is precious. A single dose cost me 50 real to develop. Not that I expect you to understand self-financing one's own research. He looks at the lieutenant with disdain, then puts the spray back into his pocket. I'm ready. Let's get to it. Right, which means you two can pack up and go back to the whirling. Finally, someone's talking sense. Thank you for your help. Gary and I will start breaking down camp. If you have any more questions, now's the time to ask. We'll be gone once you get to it. Rhetoric. If it's more cryptid-related business you want to discuss, you'll have time for that later too. How did you become a cryptozoologist? I've just always liked animals and puzzles. Searching for cryptids is a bit of both. So you're living your childhood dream out here. Why not just be a zoologist? Real animals are puzzling too. Have you ever discovered a cryptid? Have you ever discovered a cryptid? No, very few cryptids are ever discovered, and not for a lack of trying. To stay hidden is a cryptid's primary quality. It's even in the name, cryptid. So how many cryptids have been found? Of the list of cryptids kept by the Cryptozoology Society of Chemney, which is 4,082 items long, about 2,000 have been confirmed as hoaxes. 2 are categorized as confirmed discoveries, the rest are in differing stages of discovery, refutation, and data collection. Only 2 have proven to be real? Yes. Okay, the Shortornquan forest pygmy, who turned out to be an extinct species of primate, and a cave salamander from Ugograd, who is, honestly, quite unremarkable. It's in a zoo somewhere. We cryptozoologists are brutally honest with ourselves, more so even than the public. Most cryptids are hoaxes, or they are never found. That does not mean we should stop searching. Then the Insulindian phasmid will be the third. Indeed, he does not smile, just looks you in the eye. It's a forceful gaze. If our expedition is successful, every paper in the world will report on it. From Revachol to Dushantul, it will be a zoological miracle. Shivers. The hair on your arm stands up. Electricity. Sounds like reeds hissing. Logic. He has clearly done his maths on this. There is no surprising him or swaying his opinion. You're living your childhood dream out here. His eyes narrow. It's not child's play just because I have to traipse through the mud every so often. Why not just be a zoologist? Real animals are puzzling too. Real? He scoffs at the concept. I know you think one is a respectful profession while the other is superstition. Everyone does. I don't. It's a profession just like any other. Honestly, being a cryptozoologist trumps most of the garbage I've seen people do. Cryptozoology does seem like a lot of wishful thinking. Honestly, being a cryptozoologist trumps most of the garbage I've seen people do. A hum and a nod. My methods do not differ from other scientists. I simply draw upon a wider variety of evidence, and I have more hope that something truly surprising might happen. And has anything truly surprising ever happened to you? I have yet to catch a cryptid, if that's what you're getting at, but I have come close. What kind of evidence do you use? Everything from forgotten regional lore to newspaper accounts like the one that brought us here to look for the phasmid. I keep a very open mind. Oh no, it's the Rona. Pardon me. He's interested in things that people believe that scientists don't. You think other scientists don't listen to ordinary people enough? Most establishment scientists only care about reputation and remuneration, not real research and certainly not the truth. They're a cowardly lot, and both the field and basement archives can be a dangerous place. As a person who holds a Bachelor of Science degree, so I am a scientist, I completely agree. Science has lost its way. Thanks for explaining that. Now about something else. Let's talk about specific cryptids. He eyes you skeptically. Alright, what cryptids precisely? I usually discuss these things with specialists, so I don't know what rhetoric. We would have to discuss, he wants to say, but decides against it since you've offered help. Which cryptid did you almost catch? You said before that you almost caught one. Just tell me a story about a cool cryptid. Any cryptid? Enough tales then, let's check it out. Which cryptid did you almost catch? A willow person. It's a long story. One non-specialist would find rather dull. Willow people. Not at all. What are willow people? They're not people really. Some argue that they're not even animals, as they seem to have evolved directly from trees, he says in a self-explanatory, everyday manner. They're very, very thin, almost flat in fact, and can camouflage themselves easily, wrapping themselves around trees and blending in with the tree bark. In that way, they're not too dissimilar from the phasmid we're looking for here. Wait, so I may have seen these willow people without knowing it? You probably have. How did you almost catch a willow person? Gary and I painted an entire grove's worth of trees in slow-drying paint. It was a bright lavender colour. I was hoping one of the willow people would get the paint on it and not be able to camouflage itself. After waiting in hiding for hours, I saw a figure slip from one of the trees, a lavender shadow dashing through the grove. And then I chased it with a net, not very elegant, but you can't be elegant in the field, and well, it was faster than me. A lavender shadow, he smirks. I know you think we're snacking on funny mushrooms. It's easier to mock someone to admit that the world might be more interesting than you've imagined. Furthermore, he raises his finger, I am not saying it was a confirmed sighting. I am painfully aware of what goes into verifying such things. There is a serious possibility that I saw a squirrel or a trick of the light. I am my own harshest critic. Rhetoric. He makes it a real point here to sound falsifiable. And Lena's sighting of the phasmid, is that confirmed? He replies quickly. It's 100% verified and meets all the standards of an authentic cryptid sighting. Cryptid sighting. That word is beginning to become, meaningless. Cryptid. Is it even a word? Am I even making noises with my mouth? Let's just tell me about a cool cryptid, any cryptid. No offense, officer, but I'm not much of a pedagogue. I don't know what I would have done if Lena hadn't persuaded me to go back to field research. You should ask her if you want interesting stories. Me, I'm not a people person, unless you haven't noticed, and I don't make good lecturer. My strength lies in field work and persistence. He brushes an errant strand of hair from his eye. Enough tales then, let's change the subject. I'll get going. So, we've now got inspect the traps. Okay, alright, and the Canadian coast south of the village. Alright, well, we'll do that, I guess, when we find them. These soggy logs smell of ignition fluid. They still won't light up. It's almost impossible to get a fire going this near the ocean. Give me that money. These heavy military blockades are riddled with bullet holes, crumbling. What's over here? A buoy bobs in the water. The number on it says 11. Ooh, my magic number. Nothing else this way. Okay. So he said there was a trap down here somewhere. Near these... There it is. Trap boathouses. There's a trap in the reeds at your feet. Looks like the same one you saw Moral set before. Same mesh, same wiring. Look around. Behind you, the ruins of a residential building rises over the reeds, shielding them from the wind. The reeds rustle confidentially. Confidently. Confidently. That would be the right word. Not confidentially. It is confidentially. The reeds rustle confidentially. Confidently. Is that even a word? My brain has just fallen apart now. Shivers. When this district was booming, the reeds were kept at bay. Nothing obscured the freshly painted facades, nowhere for drunks and adventurous teenagers to hide. Now, only the wind blows. Reach for the trap. Locusts are crawling around the trap, confused but uneaten. You see no carnivorous reed phasmid gorging on them. Big surprise, Lieutenant grins mirthlessly. Anyway, 1 down, 3 to go. Damn, I was hoping it would be in the first one. No need to grin. I'm not expecting to find anything. I'm helping some citizens and getting some fresh air. It'll be in the next one, surely. No need to grin. I meant no offense, just the lieutenant doesn't know how to finish the sentence. He looks at you, putting the trap back on the ground. Yeah, you're just a meanie, Kim. You're just a meanie. How did I get here? Was it through here? No, I came from this way. I am confused now. Did I come from behind the building somehow? Oh, I came from here. There we go. There we go. That makes more sense. We've done that area. Yes, we have. We need to go up to this church then, I guess. Yeah, speaking of saving, good idea. Good idea, game. I like the cut of your jib. We've done that area. Come over here. Is this already the church? The sign reads St. Brune, 1147. This is the church. Dusty pews in the shadows. Many seem to be missing. An altar shrouded in dark or something like that. It's too dark to tell. Give me that money. We're actually just swimming in cash now. Alright, before we go in the church, let's have a look around. Up here. Still haven't found this girl we're looking for who's meant to be in the fishing village, which this is where we are, right? This barrel has been recently discarded. It still smells of fuel oil. I'm looking for fuel oil. The chain trails off into the ocean to who knows where. These rusty gears used to turn the whole machine. The building before you housed the engine must have been a big one. What else have we got around here? Give me this box. Oh, shirt. White polo shirt. And money. What shirt have I got? I've got +1 logic. I could have +1 rhetoric, -1 empathy. No, I'll take a +1 that doesn't give me a minus. Thanks very much. Nothing else over here. Here's another trap. 2 traps down already. A familiar apparatus lies among the reeds. Another one of Moral's traps, weighed down by stones to keep it in place. Look around. The reeds sway in the coastal breeze. They seem to be waiting for something. Shivers. The wind picks up here, near the cape's end, surrounding the narrow strip of land from 3 cardinal directions. It's cold for this time of year. Reach for the trap. This trap is also full of panic locusts. No sign of cryptozoologist beasts inside. Another empty trap, the lieutenant takes a note, but more out of habit than duty. Let's keep going. The next one is the lucky one. How are you enjoying the cardio, Lieutenant? I'm quite enjoying it myself. Again, I want to make it absolutely clear that I don't really believe the Phasmin exists, okay? How are you enjoying the cardio, Lieutenant? Always up for a good jog. Otherwise, I would still be on this case with you. He smiles and raises his collar. It's windy. Okay, that's the last one I have to do. Near the canal is the other one. Just check everything around here first, so we know the lay of the land. Someone else made a campfire here a long time ago. A rusted broken control box for the radio relay tower. This ladder is too rusty to climb. The sea air has eaten away at it. This relay tower coordinates boat traffic in the bay. Barely. Oh my god, that's a -1 item. Tiny inlets there, off in the far distance, where the post trail can't see the rest of that. Okay, excellent, excellent. So, we've got... What we've got here is failure to communicate. We've got a door there. I'll come back to that eventually. Got a church here. I think I'm going to go do this 4th trap, because we've just hit 2 hours, so I would either need to get up and take a break, move around a bit, or probably going to end the stream. Oh, hello. What have we got here? You should come back here when it snows. A strange feeling, it passes quickly. Okay, how do I know when it snows? Let's... Still, where's this fishing village when it's at home? Oh, this is one. Okay, this is the house. I haven't been in this house. There's a house I can go in there. All right. Okay, I gotcha. All right, we need to go back around this way then. Oh, there's a barrel here that I've missed. Give me that money.
Yes.
No, I didn't mean to talk to you. Oh, I talk to you. I just want the money. How is this not the girl in the fishing village, huh? +1 perception. What have we got on boots? Shoes. Composure, savoir-faire. Well, let's go. This was the actual +1. Boots. God, I am looking weirder and weirder. Still don't understand why she's not the girl in the fishing
Aye,
village.
the sea's gonna calm down soon. I can feel it. The wind is turning southeast. What's on your mind, officer?
Maybe someone else? No? Okay. That's my motor carriage in the sea, by the way. Oh, she looks at the pointed direction. That's good to know, I guess. Why is it in the sea? It's an installation. Wet your lips. Very conceptual. I wasn't feeling it. It was an accident. I'm sorry. I got drunk and apparently drove it into the sea. That's what I did. She looks at you and shrugs. This calls for a funeral, if you ask for me. Are we suggesting we honour the carcass of my former motor carriage? No, that's senseless sentimentality. Inanimate objects don't have souls. I'm actually in the middle of a murder investigation right now. You are suggesting we honour the carcass of my former motor carriage? Aye, feels deserved, don't you think, falling in the line of duty like that and all? What an odd thought. Maybe I should. Why odd? Our things are a part of our life world. They're made with human sweat and they share human history. We should care about them as we care about humans, to some extent at least. Conceptualization. Life world? Someone's been reading up on last century Gottwaldian philosophers. Play it cool now. Alright, I'm in, but organising a funeral takes a lot of time and effort, doesn't it? Oh yeah, she says with a chuckle. You won't even be able to get it out of the water before early June, and where are you going to bury it? Who to invite? What music to play at the wake? Take it from someone who's been through a few funerals, it's easiest to just leave them there and let nature take care of it. That's all we have time for right now anyway, the lieutenant looks at you sympathetically. Come back here in June and see how you feel about it then. It's not like it's going anywhere. The pity we don't get to do more frivolous side activities like rejuvenate the doomed commercial area or... The lieutenant looks at you almost gently. Yes, that is a pity, but for now let's focus on the things we do get to do, like the murder investigation, for example. Be seeing you. Okay, definitely not her then. I am terribly... Where did these come from? Oh, they're my previous shoes. The ladder leads to a school of fish swimming in the kelp. Of course it does. Why wouldn't it? That's so, yeah, okay. That's where I came in. Alright, so that is actually the only way. Let's find out. What? That was where I could possibly sleep if I wanted to. This is my dead car. Here's the other trap. Wait, what's this? A breaker box to power the radio pylon above you. Maybe there's something inside. Ahead, decades-old concrete defences. Children play on them now. Let's do our trap. This trap's not too hard to spot once you know what to look for. Keeping it hidden has not been a priority for the cryptozoologist. Look around. The reeds bend forlornly towards the sand. You see slabs of concrete north. In the east, the city centre hums to you. Shivers. The constant distant song, louder in this part of the coast, nearer somehow. And there's that cold again. Always the cold. Nothing but locusts in this trap as well. Definitely no cryptozoological monstrosity. Empty as all of them, he pants. One more of these and we're done. His face is red from the cold sea air. He crouches to catch his breath. Bummer it wasn't in here. You're getting tired. One more time, I must stress that I did not expect a cryptozoological monstrosity to be in this trap. You getting tired? No, I'm fine. I didn't mean to complain. It's just he's short-winded. The sentence ends there. Okay, and we've got to go back to the original one. Where did I come in? Oh, here. Right, okay. Have I looked around? No, I haven't. Give me this cash. Gotta get the cash. Get that money. I had a look there. I've had a look through all of there. Okay, right, we're back to the cryptozoologist area. Meanwhile, it's 7:33 PM on a Saturday night and someone's drilling next door. They're constantly fucking drilling and shit. I just don't get it. Where are we now? This way? Between the buildings? Oh. What are you... That's a Nolan Vincent, a unsuccessful model. God, there's dead cars everywhere. That's not where I want to be. I want to be down here somewhere. Where was the entrance to this area? Here, yes. All clear to me now. I remember it well. There we go. Will we find one? This is the last of the traps, the one Morel just set. Checking it over, he said, is just a technicality. Look around. The reeds by the abandoned campsite hiss and shake. Savoir faire. It's good the cryptozoologist left. This isn't a very cozy place to stay night after night. Shivers. The later it gets, the colder. Remnants of the camp can still be seen in the sand. The fire that's gone out, you feel strange somehow. Reach for the trap. The trap feels light and silent as you pick it up. Something is different here. Look closer. No locusts! Logic. No phasmid either, but still. Immediately yell, it's empty. Morel didn't leave it empty. Look closer still. Lieutenant studies the trap with you. Well, the bait worked on something. This doesn't mean it was a reed monster, though. Unless you see one in there, I just see an empty trap. But what if it was the phasmid? What if it ate them and got out? Yeah, it probably wasn't the phasmid, but still, Morel needs to know. You're right, but they still need to know. You're right, this crypto research has been stupid. But what if it was the phasmid? What if it ate them and got out? Right, it does not look like he thinks you're right. Anyway, that's for the cryptozoologist to figure out, he adds, for clarity. We're not cryptozoologists, we're cops. So, return to In the Whirling with News. Okay, well, that can be for the next time. Because I don't think there's a fast travel, and I need to get all the way back here, and I'm all the way over here. That's gonna, so that thing there must lead to this island here. Okay, okay, that's good to know. It's good to know. I thought there was fast travel actually, but I guess not. How do I, yeah, it doesn't look like I can. Alright, well, definitely time to leave it at that. Actually, we better make it better save, good lord. Don't want to miss out on saving. Yeah, hope you enjoyed that. Hope I can catch you for the next one. Thank you for watching. Au revoir, goodbye.